One of the most basic ingredients in baking is milk, and in vegan baking that gets swapped out for plant-based milk. But have you looked in the store lately? There's like 1,000 options. So are all plant-based milks the same? Absolutely not. So today on Ask a Vegan Baker, we're talking about just that. Are all plant-based milks the same? Which one should you avoid using in baking, and which one should you always use? Let's find out. So plant-based milks are going to be different in a number of ways. They're going to have different tastes, different textures, and so that's all going to impact how your bake comes out in the end. Almond, oat, and soy milk will be your best bet. They have the closest texture to regular milk, while rice milk, for example, will be much more diluted, which is pretty much just a nice way of saying it's like dirty water, you guys. It's not good. Then on the opposite end, you have the coconut milk that you buy in a can. This stuff is actually made with coconut meat, so it's super creamy, and you're gonna have to give it a shake and stir it before you even add it to the recipe. Taste-wise, out of all of these, the almond milk is probably gonna have the most characteristic nutty flavor. Obviously, if you're drinking it straight out, like out of a glass, you're gonna taste it, but when you're baking, that stuff disappears, so don't even worry about it. However, this brings us to our next point. Do not use flavored plant milks in your desserts. Ever. Just don't. The problem there is not even the taste, is the sugar content. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Baking is all about the chemistry, and if you're adding more flavors, more sugars in there so it tastes different, that's all going to impact how your recipe turns out in the end, and it's not going to be good. There are so many disasters that could come out of this. It could stick to the pan. It could make your cake rise and then collapse in the middle. It could also just brown too fast. Just save yourself the trouble. Don't. So what milk should you go with? I recommend almond milk, oat milk, or the coconut milk from a can. Almond milk is going to be your old reliable. Unless you're allergic to nuts, in that case, use oat milk. You can use either of those in buttercream, cakes, you name it. It kind of works with everything. My other favorite is coconut milk from a can because it has so much fat in it. Don't worry, it's the good kind of fat. When you compare the fat content from the almond milk to the coconut can, the almond milk has about 10 grams of fat per box, while the coconut can has 25 grams. So it's a good thing because it's gonna make your cake super moist. So there you go. When it comes to plant-based milks, they are definitely not all created equal. Some are too watery to bake with, like rice milk, and some of the flavored ones have so much sugar they will mess up your bakes. So don't use any of those unless the recipe specifically calls for it. I recommend almond milk as your one-size-fits-all that will kind of fit every recipe, and if you want some extra moisture, go for canned coconut milk. I hope this answered your question. If it did, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Keep sending me your vegan baking questions. I'm dying to hear them and answer them right here on the channel. So I'll talk to you soon. Keep baking and stay curious. Oh, and we didn't even cover the whole should you go with plant-based milk instead of cow's milk thing, so here's a bonus at the end. If you're not a baby cow, don't drink cow's milk. It's gross, it's cruel, and the whole calcium thing is a myth. You're welcome.